incredibly hard to get young people engaged nowadays. There are so many distractions. When I was young, shops closed at 5 o'clock and they weren't open on Sundays. Nowadays, they're open till 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at Christmas. There is kind of 24-hour entertainment through internet, through games online, through entertainment on demand. So basically, we're creating a generation of kids that are really good at shopping or being in their bedroom. And how does that support civil society? How does it support actually doing things? How does it support achievement? Well, it doesn't.
So young people have become quite isolated and communities have become quite isolated. And so instead of young people having access to exciting opportunities, you find that young people who live in the right place have them, but young people who live in different parts of our borough have no access to exciting opportunities at all.
I think in a town like Luton, it's a bit of a frontier town. There's more reason for investment in young people. There's more reason for an investment because I think there's a lack of resource coming from the private sector. Therefore, I think there's an absolute requirement for public sector to meet, or the third sector, to meet the need and to say, something, we have to take that responsibility because if we don't, you can see ultimately what might happen. Might happen is what we read in the newspapers. It's the crime, it's the increased deprivation, it's the fact that when there's money around because the economy is doing well, yeah, there's some lovely projects and lovely schemes going on, but actually the real hardship happens when it's not there.
We know that we could go and work in Holland Park, we could go and work in Hampstead, we could go and work in Richmond. We could go and work in those areas. We go to work in Thurrock, we go to work in Stevenage, we go to work in Watford, we go to work in Luton and in Corby. Because we know from the social demographic, we know from the stats, we know because we've worked with the Arts Council and their audience development team to use specific tools that can test the postcodes and relate them to a social classification in terms of those young people. We know exactly what kind of demographics that we're working with, but as it were through a side door. So we're confident that by targeting the general environment and then working with those key group of gatekeepers, we don't have to, as it were, culturally means test the young people, because that would defeat the whole object. The point of view from the young person is, I'm passionate about my skills, I want to have an opportunity. If they've got another 5 opportunities, because there's all sorts of interesting cultural organisations coming in and doing stuff, I'd be delighted, because frankly, the more the merrier. But actually, that's not the story that we're finding on the ground.
We have areas of quite serious deprivation in Thurrock, and young people haven't access to funds and they haven't access to the opportunities to travel. In a city environment, opportunities are usually very close at hand. Young people who go to school in London have travel passes. Young people who go to school in Thurrock have no such passes. So if there's an opportunity in Southend, which isn't very far away, they still can't access it. So what we really needed to do was to provide opportunities that would inspire them and give some kind of aspiration, because our young people have shown us that they do enjoy performing, they do enjoy the chance to show off, but they just haven't got it locally.
We did a survey about 3 or 4 years ago where we went and asked lots of schools what were the opportunities for young people to engage in dance and other arts-based activities. And only 2 or 3 of them actually offered above and beyond what the curriculum suggested. So that's a concern.
I think to take a youngster out of that traditional school environment and put them in another learning environment where they don't even realise they're learning, which is actually what the company Theatres actually does, without the kids even learn and knowing that they're actually learning a whole range of skills, including self-control and motivation, those sorts of skills as well, which is quite important for some of our youngsters, then that's just, it's another model. It's a non-institutional way of teaching, which is actually going to end up the same sort of thing. Because after all, at the end of the day, yes, you need to attain academically and you want to move on in your job, but if you don't have a motivation, a self-control and understanding of where you're going and goals and those kind of things, you're not going to get there anyway.
These young people are on a journey, they see the road show, they decide that they want to take part in It's Our Theatre, they sign up, they get selected, they come along, they work for 4 days, and at the end of it they have this slam night, this amazing night which does change, you know, their attitude, it does change their outlook, it does change confidence levels and how they feel about themselves. And then after that slam night, what happens? You know, they go back to school, they go back to, you know, their normal lives, you know, and they have this as a fantastic memory, but like it shouldn't end there, you know. And so by getting the arts award, by getting a qualification, by getting a certificate which recognises that they have done this all off their own back and developed, you know, means that this experience lasts longer. It goes into National Records of Achievements, it can go on CVs, it can go into college applications.
And I think the engagement with young people has been quite outstanding. Schools have described the experience as being the most exciting thing that we've ever put inside.
Theatre isn't for everybody, because there are always kids who are going to want to do sport, there are kids who want to go and, you know, work with dad's bricklaying, whatever. If every child in Thurrock had an opportunity to work with theatrees, I don't expect them all to want to work with theatrees, but it would be great if everybody who wanted to could actually access the fantastic professional staff that you have, the fantastic opportunities that they give to perform not only here, but they performed in Brussels, they perform in Luton, to develop an Eastern region network, which is, you know, real significance to young people. I think that would be really fantastic.
So I think it's one of the things that's been important for me is that every child that I've seen involved has felt safe and comfortable to kind of risk what they're doing. I, as a local authority, have felt safe and comfortable with the care that theatres have taken over the young people.
Life's about more than just learning about history and geography and getting a job. It's got so much, the arts have got so much to offer. It brings you out, we're all creative, and we've got there's so many different unique qualities in each person that without these projects, without people being able to express themselves through drama or through doing graffiti and tapping into talent they might not have never even realised they had, then the world's going to be a much duller place.
So if we can have It's Our Theatre producing a series of mentors, then those young people will be really powerful role models for the young people to follow. So if I have an aspiration, it's that the young people that are working with It's Our Theatre today become the role models and the It's Our Theatre of tomorrow.